Hey, what's going on, everyone? This is Courtney Rollins from the Life and Transitions Experts podcast. Here, excited to talk to you all about another aspect of the probate process specific to Durham, North Carolina, or really North Carolina in general. And that's the question is, how do you sell a house you may have inherited in probate? And what's the real reality behind probate in North Carolina and property? So let's take a look. Well, right quick, I just want to let you know again, folks, I am not a financial advisor or an attorney. I'm just sharing my experience as a expert and someone who works deeply in the probate space in North Carolina, and just sharing that for you, and hopefully it'll be helpful to you. And yeah, but I always recommend you seek legal advice. In fact, that'll be one of the things we talk about today. So first, let's talk about the cost. The cost. First of all, you're dealing with the emotional toil of processing a loved one's life. The property that you inherited, depending on the situation, it may have just been really challenging just to associate this property because it comes with the loss of someone that you possibly love. So there's definitely a challenge of that. And even going through the property, when you're talking about the personal items of someone, there's a lot of emotional toil that can come with that. And then outside, even if you process or overcome or even just deal with the emotional toil, there's the actual physical toil of dealing with personal property. There's a lot that's collected over time, particularly if someone lives to an older age. But regardless of age, we tend to collect a lot of things in the United States. And so dealing with the cost of the personal items, the emotional cost, as well as if you're thinking about selling your property, you may need to fix it up. And if someone's been living there for a while, there may be some deferred maintenance and other issues that may need to be addressed so that you can get the funds that you receive. Unless you go with someone like a cash buyer, as is cash buyer, like folks at my company, Estate Pro Service, and there's a lot of worthy cash, not worthy, but really solid cash buyers out there as well that may be able to give you a convenient as is purchase for your property if that's the route you want to go. Now, navigating the probate process smoothly. Now, in most cases, probate does not necessarily have to go through probate. Property does not have to necessarily go through probate in North Carolina. Property is deeded over based on North Carolina state succession law. So if you're married or if you have children, it goes through that case. And if you're not, then North Carolina has succession laws that it will follow. However, there still may be lots of reasons why you decide to sell a property in probate. One, it may specify that the property needs to be sold during the probate process if there's a last will and testament, and that would note that. Also, you may also find out that you need to probate the property because there may be debt that the state owes, and you want to be able to pay the debt off properly. So selling the property and using those proceeds may be very helpful to you. You may also need funds to distribute to heirs and distribute inheritance. And of course, you may also recognize that owning a house may be too much for you. There's a particular incident I just dealt with where a gentleman inherited his mother's property, but he's about 2 hours away, and he was keeping up the lights and the utilities and all that for 5 years, paying the taxes, never stepped foot in there in those 5 years, and finally decided, hey, let me go ahead and process this. Let me go ahead and see if I can sell the property. In fact, we thought the property had debt on it, but we were able to help him out and negotiate that debt down. So I walked away with money at the closing when he thought he wasn't going to receive anything. So that's always a cool thing right there. But so there are reasons that you may want to sell the property, even though property doesn't necessarily go through probate in North Carolina unless specified by the will. Also, be mindful that when you do sell the property, regardless of whose name it is in, that whatever the property is worth at the time of the death of the decedent, when you sell it, you're going to receive hopefully gains. Hopefully you'll sell it for more than what it's worth or more than what it was worth in the future, and you will be taxed on that gain. So make sure you consult a tax preparer to make sure you're doing that properly in North Carolina. Also, make sure everyone's in agreement. There are probably a lot of people that have vested interests in this property and in the estate being processed properly. So family members, everyone, make sure everyone's on board. And if you do sell the property and you do pay off debt, make sure you have it documented. I highly recommend that you open up an account based on the estate so that you can move things in and out of the account there, and it's easy to document because you will have to show where all the funds went and where all the funds go. And if you are distributing funds to heirs, make sure that they sign off on it. I would recommend a notarized copy. You may even have to have a notarized copy. I don't think to double check on that, but it's always good to have that in place. Also, prepare the house to sell. Now, you may decide to FSBO, for sale by owner, sell this on your own. There's tons of apps out there that can support you and help you. You may decide to go and find a real estate agent or a broker and list it on the what they call the MLS, the multiple listing service, and get tons of eyes on there. Now, if you do this route, make sure you're going to probably be encouraged, depending on the condition of the property, to fix it up in a way that's going to allow you to get your funds out and make sure that you're following the marketing guides that your hopefully trusted real estate agent is helping you with. Or if you're doing it on your own, you're following some really good best practices. Or you may utilize an as-is cash buyer. You may decide that speed and convenience is what you need, and dealing with the personal property, dealing with the heirs, dealing with so many of the issues that come with selling a property. You may decide someone like Estate Pro Service is a at least viable option or solution for you. So I'd love you to check us out and to see if that's something that may be helpful for you if you're in the North Carolina area. Even if you're not in North Carolina, all across the nation, really the world, we're such a connected space. The network is larger and larger and the world is smaller and smaller, so we can hopefully point you in the right direction and help you. And that's what we try to do. We really try to take a holistic approach to the probate process. I connect with vetted contractors, estate professionals, moving companies, clean out crews, financial advisors that really make sure that we come in with a heart, head, hands approach, right? And so we try to come in with a big empathetic heart that's listening to your situation. And as we hear your situation, then we use our head to try to tailor options that are caring and work for you. And then we get to work and follow through until the job's done. So definitely recommend and look forward to you checking out Estate Pro Service or any certified probate expert in your area, because if they are a certified probate expert, I'm sure you are in good hands. All right. That is all for me. And as I always say, rising tides, it lifts all sails.